The heat of the summer afternoon transformed the hardwood hallway into a blinding golden runway. Dust motes danced in the shafts of light, suspended in the stillness. Kidow stood at the threshold of the kitchen, his posture rigid. 10 feet away, resting on the cool tile floor, sat the objective. A single, dried piece of tuna. The distance seemed vast, a desert of polished wood separating him from his goal. Kidow lowered his head, his gaze narrowing until the world outside the hallway ceased to exist. He shifted his weight, testing the grip of his back paws against the grain of the floorboards. Every muscle in his frame coiled, pulling tight against his skeleton. He did not blink, he did not twitch. He simply measured the angle, the distance, and the terrifying slickness of the surface ahead. The silence in the house was heavy, broken only by the faint rhythmic sound of his own breathing. He adjusted his stance one final time, tail twitching once, twice, before going dead still. He was a statue of pure intent. The tuna remained motionless, an impossible distance away. Kidow braced his rear legs, dug his claws into the wood, and prepared to launch himself into the unknown. Kidow pushed off with his back paws. The force of his lunge was perfect, but the surface betrayed him. As soon as his pads met the polished wood, the floor turned against him. He did not run, he drifted. His front paws began to scramble, claws clicking against the hardwood like rapid, frantic gunfire. The sound echoed through the hallway, a sharp rhythmic tapping that betrayed his lack of control. He made no headway. His body remained in a fixed position, anchored by inertia, while his legs cycled in a blur of motion. He looked like a statue moving through a phantom current. His muscles strained, his shoulders bunched, and his ears flattened, yet he occupied the exact same spot on the runway. The momentum he had generated was being wasted, converted into nothing but noise and sliding friction. He clawed at the air, his pads finding no purchase on the wax. He remained suspended in his own effort, legs pumping, body sliding forward by mere inches. The tuna sat ahead, an immovable target. Kidow continued to scramble, his speed increasing even as his progress remained stalled. A desperate engine locked in neutral, while the floor pulled him toward the kitchen at its own slow, relentless pace. Halfway down the hall, the wood changed. He hit a patch of extra slick wax, and the situation shifted from a struggle to a spectacle. Kidow splayed his limbs, belly pressed flat against the wood, and began a slow, graceful rotation. He spun in a perfect, unwanted circle. His tail lashed out, acting as a rudder that refused to steer, whipping through the air in a useless attempt to correct his path. The world blurred around him, the walls, the light, the ceiling, all rotating in a dizzying loop. Yet, through the spinning, his eyes remained locked on the tuna. Wide, unblinking, and filled with a desperate, silent intensity. He passed the midpoint of the hallway, sliding right past the small rug he had intended to use as a break. His body drifted like a leaf on a frozen pond. He passed the snack by a mere 2 inches, his frantic, splayed paws leaving faint, arched streaks on the polished floor. He was a passenger in his own body, carried by the momentum of his failed launch. He continued his slow, spinning slide until he bumped softly against the wall at the far end of the kitchen. The collision was gentle, a final, quiet punctuation to his uncontrolled journey across the golden runway. Kidow stood up, shook his fur, and turned back to face the long, treacherous hallway. The tuna remained there, a mocking, silent prize. He crouched low, his muscles coiling tight, and wiggled his haunches to find the perfect angle for a new approach. He lunged. The force of his jump was explosive, but his timing was off. He hit the slickest part of the wax sideways. Instead of surging forward, his back paws caught no grip at all. He began to slide backward, his body losing all orientation. His limbs flailed in a desperate, frantic scramble to find traction on the wood, but he only accelerated in reverse. The hallway blurred as he drifted away from the kitchen threshold. His momentum carried him past the safety of the rug and toward the dining area. He slid until his rear collided with the hard legs of a dining chair. He tumbled, legs tangling, and landed in a heap beneath the seat. The silence of the house returned. He sat there, anchored by the chair, staring out at the floor that had defeated him twice. He was trapped in the kitchen periphery, the tuna still miles away across the polished, unforgiving wood. A single, soft meow echoed from under the dining chair. Kidow emerged from the shadows of the chair legs, his eyes still fixed on the prize. He did not crouch to spring. He did not gather his strength for another explosive, doomed launch. Instead, he lowered his belly until it brushed the grain of the wood. He extended one front paw, claws fully unsheathed, and pressed them deep into the hardwood. He pulled. His body moved forward an inch. He repeated the motion with the other paw, a rhythmic, deliberate drag against the surface that had once been his enemy. He was no longer trying to outrun the slickness of the wax. He was working with it, one slow, tactile movement at a time. His haunches stayed low, his tail acting as a counterbalance to keep him pinned to the floor. The tuna grew larger in his field of vision. Each inch was a hard-won victory against the polish. He did not rush, he did not scramble. He simply kept moving, his focus unbreakable, and his pace steady. The hallway remained a runway, but the chaotic slide had been replaced by a quiet, stubborn determination. He reached the halfway point, then crossed it. The tuna was inches away, and for the first time, he was not drifting. He was arriving.